Maureen, hi, you are a VIP today. Weather's unpredictable. Can you add both egg white powder and cream of tartar? Doreen, yes, you can definitely add both. If you're doing 100 grams of egg whites, then I recommend a quarter of a teaspoon of cream of tartar and then just 2 grams of egg whites. Let me get my laptop so I can see. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Welcome and good morning, afternoon, wherever you are. YouTube has all these new functions. Ooh, I think I can like flip my camera. Yay! They have all these new like things that you can do. Can you hear me? Bonjour, Randy. Hi, Joni. You're a VIP today too. Thanks for purchasing a ticket, and hopefully you guys got the templates. And if you're baking along with me, will you let me know? Okay. There's like a little microphone, so I want to make sure that I don't have to press that. Can you guys hear me? Hello from Lebanon. Hi, Oscar. Thanks for being here. What VIP? Faye, it was just, if you subscribe to my newsletter, I offered, and I also put it onto Instagram, I offered a ticket like for this event to just get the recipe I'll be using written out and the templates I'll be using today. It's just sort of a way for you to get more out of the YouTube Live. I offer classes via Zoom, and that's more like I get to see you. And so those are a little pricier. Oh, good. We can hear you. Those can, those are a higher price point. So I just like to offer different things of value at each level. Like this was a pay what you can from $5. And then hopefully I can help out maybe someone who wouldn't be able to do a class. So yeah, if you subscribe to my newsletter, Faye, it's free. I do weekly emails. It's a lot, I think, for people to, I don't want it to ever feel like spam, but usually I'll send out my newest YouTube video I put out and give you updates on what's happening. It's very personal and also updates you of different things that's going on with Toujours, my company. Aw, Amy, thanks. I'm so glad you're here. Are you gonna be baking, Amy? Sherry, hello from Kansas. Okay. It is 10 o'clock now, so I'm gonna start. Let me get this on here. Turn my volume down. Okay. Now, hopefully, hi Mandy, you're a VIP too, from Michigan. Hopefully everyone got my emails that signed up for just the extra little bonus you guys get. Okay, Joni, I might need to sign up for that. I'm struggling so bad with hollows, fragile, crunchy tops. Ugh, the struggle with macarons is so real, Joni. Yes, I am due to sign up. My husband is taking his oral boards for his medical profession next month. So it's been really stressful here trying to have a quiet house and make sure that he's able to study. So hopefully April is when I'll introduce some classes. I really want to do another macaron class. I'm trying to decide if it should be French or Italian. There has been interest since I haven't done as many Italian method macaron classes for more of those. So if you have a preference, Joni, let me know. And then also I really want to teach bi-colored croissants. So it's a croissant class with a different color that you put into it. So it has like the two colors. And I love lamination. I love macarons. Those are my two favorite things. So usually those are what I teach on. Okay. Son's watching their dog. No baking. Okay. Ooh, making dinner early. Okay, I'm gonna get started. I can now see the text on my iPad, so that's what I like, because sometimes I don't read fast enough. Yes, and Joni, French please, I'm a beginner only. Okay. Ooh, a few weeks in. Okay, I feel like you're gonna get it. Hi Daniela, another VIP. Thanks for joining from Nashville. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. And Joni, feel free to email me after the class too, or after the YouTube live, if you have specific questions, but hopefully this live will help too. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys, enough of me. We're making, okay, we gotta get moving. I hate that I can't talk more during the mixing of the meringue, so, because it's so loud. But hi from Switzerland, hello. So these are our little pots of gold. I wanted the gold on gold look, but it makes it hard to kind of distinguish between the top of the macaron and the like jewels or whatever, the gold. So we'll see. This design isn't my favorite quite yet, but I'm gonna try again today. We'll be making shamrock macarons. So, and then we've got these cute little leprechaun hats that we'll be making. And what I did for these leprechaun hats is I made royal icing transfers. So I piped this shamrock and this little detail for the hat beforehand, dried them in a dehydrator so they dried in 15 minutes. Sometimes royal icing transfers, in order to get so dry, you have to wait hours. So drying them, if you don't have a dehydrator, mine's from Broad & Taylor. This Oster toaster oven, I never know how to pronounce it. This little Oster toaster, this has a dehydrate setting. So if you have this, I know some people have bought that from my my Amazon. I don't know how that works. I haven't tried it on that. And then you could also bake it. If your oven goes all the way to 165 Fahrenheit or 150, those you can bake royal icing transfers at a super low heat, and it will dry it really fast. So this was the transfer sheet for my royal icing decor. And then I'm trying to see like all these. So you just pipe on your royal icing transfer, dry it, and then you can pop, they come off. I'm like, see, they come off. They're like, I did it very organically. If we have extra time, my kids get out at 12:30, so in 2.5 hours, they get out of school, and I have a parent-teacher conference today. So depending on time, maybe I'll even do some showing of the royal icing. But let's get started on our meringue first, and then I can talk about these more too. But here's the hat detail that will just pop on our shell beforehand. I had 2 shells with bigger designs with your royal icing. When you put this on, it can cause some cracking on your macaron, so I'm still kind of testing that out. The shamrock didn't cause any cracking, but on 2 shells, I have one. So to me, like having this little crack, that makes it not worth it. Like I will just kind of attach these afterwards, you know, but for today I'm kind of still testing it. So I'll put 2 on our piped macarons and put them in the oven and see if we get cracking today. And then I'll just apply them afterwards, and I'll show you how. because I don't want any cracking. If I was doing large production for somebody, I don't want to at all risk the cracking if I know it could cause cracking. So most of them turn out great, but I did get those two that cracked a bit. So we're gonna try again today, see if they crack. And if they do, then we'll just apply our our shamrock to it, and then we'll hold off and put the belt on afterwards, and we'll just adhere it to the baked shell with more royal icing. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna start my meringue. We've got 100 grams of egg whites in here. I'm doing just that base recipe. 100 grams of egg whites. We're gonna mix till nice and foamy or bubbly, and then we'll add our 90 grams of sugar. This has 2 grams of egg white powder in here mixed in already. And then we have our dries, which is 260 grams altogether, 130 of almond flour, 130 of confectioner sugar, already sifted. Okay, let's get started on our meringue, and then we can talk via the chat. Hi, Heidi. Oh, thank you. Someone said they were nice cookies. Okay, just low and slow for the beginning, and then once we have all of our sugar dissolved, we will add it. We will turn up and add some volume. To get this nice and frothy, but I need to go wash my hands. Feel free to turn the noise down of your video while I'm mixing. I know it's annoying because it's like 7 straight minutes of mixing. Okay, now if you guys can see, we're foamy. Sorry about see, it's nice and foamy. I'm gonna start adding that sugar in. I'm just gonna do it all at once today. You can do it in 2 additions if you want, but the main thing is you just want it to all dissolve before we add that volume. So put it in and mix it up slowly so the sugar gets all into your egg whites and not on the side of your bowl. And then we're just gonna let this go at this speed till we have our sugar dissolved. Adding it in 2 additions kind of helps dissolve it a little bit faster, and then you add the second one. Well, this is fine too. Oh, Heidi, good. It's not that loud. I'm on a 3 on my mixer, so I'm in between a 2 and a 4. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so we're just mixing if you have your volume on. These egg whites are still cold. I can feel it on the bowl, but they were out at room temperature for 2 hours. But the room temp here is pretty cold. Cold egg whites will whip a little bit slower, just so you know. That's why I don't love timed methods, because sometimes your meringue will whip faster than other times. So, but generally, the colder your egg whites, the slower they will whip. Okay, let's check. Let's check the stream of our egg whites and see how our sugar is, if it's dissolved or not. Yep, I don't feel any granulars of sugar. So we're going to turn her up nice and white, stream here. And now I'm going to turn up to about a 6 to start to get volume. I'm gonna turn my oven on to preheat right now. So I turn my big oven on to preheat. Sorry, to 300 Fahrenheit. My key, my 0 key is stuck. It's not putting down. Now it's really nice and white, but we don't really have volume quite yet. So I'm at a 6 still. I'm gonna look for a little bit of volume, a little bit of striations in the meringue before I turn up to an 8. Starting to get there. Just want a little more volume. This is just building strength by going a little bit slow. I turned her up to a 7. Gonna keep letting this go till we're at stiff peaks. Well, I'll turn her up in a second. Okay, we're starting to get some volume. Amy, I actually use less egg white powder up here. I mean, I was in Portland before, so that was a really humid environment. But the winters here are so dry, even being right by the water. But in the summer, I just stuck to the regular, like 3% egg white powder. But I've been using 2% in the winter here. So 2 grams. See how you're starting to see the striations? It's not stiff yet, but it's definitely getting that volume. I'm turning it up to an 8. Now your mixers might mix this a lot faster. You know, everybody's mixer is different power and watts. So just be careful. What you're looking for is it to clump around the whisk a bit in the center and a nice stiff peak. Mine is way, if you can see on the sides, it's way too loose still. I want it to build up on itself a little more. Joni, I wonder if maybe your meringue hasn't been stiff enough if you're dealing with fragile tops. See how it's starting to build up on itself? I don't know how well you guys can see, but it's starting to hold a little bit more on the sides, and we're going in the right direction. Yeah, Lisa, that's so low. So we're getting there. Do you guys see that though? The difference? Now it's on the sides. It kind of holds up onto the side until the whisk comes around again. I'm gonna do about 30 more seconds and then let's check where we're at. See how it's balled in the middle around the whisk a bit too? I like to go slow. See how it's around that whisk? Sorry, the lighting, but it stayed up on that whisk, right? Nice and stiff. I hit it on the thing. But you want it to be pretty tough to go around, lift up. Okay, so look at that. It's still going over, but I can change that. Like if I took off that extra tiny piece, when it's that thin, it's going to go down. Okay, so that doesn't mean that that was a medium peak. It's stiff, right? I'm not gonna whip anymore. It's stiff in the bowl. It's just when you get like a tiny little piece like that, of course it's going to fold over, see? But that, just having that little piece, like everything else is so stiff. Holding shape. So I'm good with this, and I'm going to switch this over into a bigger bowl so I can see what's happening, and we're gonna mix in our dries. Let me make some space and move the camera. Okay. Now, let me know if that's a good angle for the mixing. This actually is a little looser than, that's okay. We'll be fine. Nice and shiny. You don't want it to be dry looking, then you over whipped it. Okay, let's see here. I will be going sure on my meringue. No worries. No worries, Doreen. I hope the animal is okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of flatten this out a bit so it has like a little surface. And sprinkle on. And then we're just going to kind of pat it in. That's what I always say. Well, this was a lot. Actually, guys, I could have whipped that a little bit longer, but I'm gonna be super careful here. I'm gonna put some more in, because that was a baby amount. Just be really careful not to deflate at this point, right? Because we're gonna have to add colors in. Veronica, you need to rest almost 3 hours. Wow. Are you able to turn on central air and of any sort? Like, I don't know if it's cold or warm where you are, but central air could definitely dry out your area. When I was in a high humidity spot like Portland, I had a dehumidifier always running a couple hours before I started baking and while I was baking to help pull out the moisture from the air. All right, let's dump it in. She's good now. Okay, good. Hate the, Doreen said the animal is good. Hate when they're sick or something. So it looks really funky right now, right? Just keep tumbling it. Cutting through the middle every once in a while if you need to kind of get new surface area to pat in those dries. And then once these are all in, we can separate our batter and put our color in. So we'll be making those pots of gold, some shamrocks, and the leprechaun hats. Okay, we're getting there. Not only do you want to like see no dries, but if you see like little pieces of your almond flour, but not over here, like it looks a little smoother, make sure it's incorporated well. Do a couple more turns. You don't want it super rough, and then, but you don't also want to agonize over it being completely dispersed evenly through your dries, or else it will be very runny by the time you put your dries or your color in. Okay, hopefully I didn't lose anyone on that, but so here we are. It's still stiff. We got lots of room to continue to mix with our colors, so that's where you want to be. If you're doing French method and splitting your batter, you want it to be really stiff. It's not flowy, right? It's not flowing at all. That's how you want it, so you have tons of room to put your color in and disperse it evenly and then deflate. Okay, so I'm gonna do probably more green than gold, so I'm just going to put, let's see, that's more even. Let's do gold in this one then. I just want a few pots of gold because I'm still not 100% convinced on my design quite yet. Okay, this, I'll use that amount, so I'm not doing it evenly. I want more green. If you guys are trying to get equal amounts of something, then use your scale. That'll be the easiest way to make sure you divide your batter up evenly. Okay, so I'm using this emerald from the Sugar Art. Shake them before because they can get a little separated. Shake, shake, shake. I think Yeah, Lisa, that's a little colder than I like to go for my meringue. It just makes it so it's stiffer, right? And so then it's harder with Italian method to get it into the paste and get it all mixed in. How did they turn out though, Lisa? Yeah, Amy, same. I had to, when I was in the humid months, I would have to run that dehumidifier. So right now I'm mixing in the green before I'm actually pressing out the air that we worked into our meringue. Now that the green is kind of dispersed in there, I'm going to start pressing out. Last time I didn't do enough green, so I put more green in this time. 2 drops went into this. So once your color is nice dispersed and you've macaronaged to that consistency, let's see. Let's check it out. Need a little bit more. Definitely need to deflate more. Sorry. I should move this. Because my designs have some smaller parts. There, now it's starting to flow. Just gonna go a little bit more. I have a coupler. All right, I like this. I'm gonna look in my bowl and see how it kind of melds out as I go get this. So with my piping bag, I have a coupler, and then this is a Wilton 12. I have some smaller parts that I did for the shamrock. I have the little stem, so I'm gonna switch this out for a smaller tip when I have that design, when I'm doing that part of the design. So it melded into itself a bit. That's what I like to see. But I don't want it too runny when you're doing shapes, right? Because then you won't keep the shape. So you just have to kind of have it meld into itself, but it will still keep a little bit of a tail. And then you can use your scribe when you're piping to get it smoother. Okay, so once you have one color done, close her up. Okay, make sure no air is getting to it. And we're gonna let that sit for a second while we do our gold. So this gold is potent. And then you can always do some luster dust. I use diamond dust from the Sugar Art to kind of spruce up after, to make it have a shimmer too, because it's a very matte finish with the color, which is fine. But you can make it look shinier and more gold. Okay, where did that drop go? There it is. So I'm gonna mix it in a bit. Okay, I'll catch up with your guys' Italian meringue. I need to make a double batch. Oh, they were crispy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because Amy, you have the 7-quart mixer, right? I usually use I think it's a 5-quart bowl with my mixer. Okay, so this is the gold, very subtle. I think I used one more drop the other day, but I'm gonna go subtle today, and then I can spruce it up with some luster dust. I love it. I mean, that's 1 drop and it's so gold. We used to struggle so much to have gold macarons. And of course, like pots of gold, very much usually, sometimes they're green, but they're black a lot of times. And I try to steer clear from black as much as possible, just because of the color. You're either gonna taste a little bit of the color, or it just won't be as black as you want it, right? So I'd like to, I mean, sometimes you need to do it, and Amy was doing them just now, and black cocoa powder is great to add, so then you don't have as much of a food colorant. The black cocoa powder does a good amount for you, and then you just add a little bit of the food colorant. Okay. Do you have a stand mixer? I do have a stand mixer. Yes. No, this is what the muscles are for. Okay. We're at the flowy consistency here. I like it. It's going slowly, not too fast, but it's smooth, right? And try to get as much as possible. All right, now we can start doing our designs. So again, I have a coupler on this one too, because the pot of gold has some little legs. I didn't pipe them last time because my tip was too big. So I'm gonna switch this out for a tiny little tip when I wanna do the little peg legs of the pot of gold. Okay, so I'm turning on my little oven. Here we go. I broke down about a second. How do you know when to tumble fold more or deflate? Joni, that's a great question. It takes a lot of practice, and it'll kind of just become a look that you see. But you basically just want to, when you get close, just tumble it over and over, and you're going to lose a little bit of air every time you do that, instead of going too far by pressing out more gases intentionally. So I like to tumble towards the end over and over, and just keep letting it flow off your spatula, and you just want a consistent flow of your batter. And then what I like to do is look inside your bowl. After you've let it flow off your spatula, look inside your bowl, wait about 10 seconds, and see if it's sort of melded into itself. I find French method, I like it to, what's the right word? I like it to be a little bit layered, where you can see it kind of mound on itself a tiny bit, but also meld in. But with Italian method, I like it to like meld upon itself fully, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna get this Wilton 10 ready, because I'm gonna do these leprechaun hats. If you see the bill or whatever, this little part, I'm gonna try it with a smaller tip today. So I did it with a bigger one, and I didn't have as much control. So I'm gonna see if it's worth switching it out or what. So I'm just gonna do a few of these, have my royal icing transfers ready, because I want my shell to be wet still, and it's pretty dry here. So I want, just like a sprinkle, you adhere a sprinkle to a shell when it's still wet. I want my batter, my shell to be wet still, so these stick to it, my royal icing. Okay, so I'll pipe a couple, use my scribe to make it look nicer. I'm just sort of going around the edge with this design. Rectangles can be hard to pipe. Just trying to see what would be the best. I think I like going from the down and around like that. Okay. I don't think it's gonna be worth it, guys, to switch my tip out. Let me see. Because then you have to wait. Let's use our scribe. Way to go. To just kind of bring it to the edges of your template. Can you see even? Hopefully you guys can see. All right, so once it's my concentration, okay. This is the real time, no fast-paced Instagram reel. Okay, so you want to be able to pipe a few, do this, adhere your design if you're using a royal icing transfer all before it dries. So make sure you only pipe as many as you can decorate, right? Okay, so we've done the filling out. Only half of these will get the designs because the other half are gonna be the back. So just remember that part. Okay, and then let's see here. I can probably adhere these even before I switch my tip. So I'm just gonna do 2 of these right at the base here. So I'm gonna do, I'm trying to think of why some of them would crack and some of them wouldn't. Okay, I'm gonna put them right at the base. Now let's do our leprechaun. I always call this our shamrock. Oops, I got little tweezers here. It's supposed to help me place them. So these are little royal icing shamrock right in the middle. And then I'm gonna do these on half of them. If you were here in the beginning, I said I was only going to do the big buckle part of the hat on 2 of them because I had some cracking. So I'm gonna adhere the rest afterwards. But 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me make one more shell so I have even amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That one was a weird way to pipe it. Okay, and then once you've had this, when you're piping shapes, you wanna make sure that you don't use your scribe like right down where the feet grow, because then your feet aren't going to grow. Let's switch out this little tip for a smaller tip and see if it was worth it or not. And we're going to do our second part of the design. And just make the little bridge of the, what is that called, a bridge? Brim. No, I think I prefer how I piped him the first time. Because now this looks almost separate. Like a lady's. I'll use my scribe and try to make them one. don't know. We'll see how they turn out. Kind of quickly meld them together before they dry. They don't look bad. And I'm gonna pop these into my toaster oven. So these two, I will put the big black royal icing decor on after. And so if this is like your career and you are doing a St. Patrick's Day themed set, I would personally do one fun character thing that makes it special. The rest just circles. To me, you lose the texture of a real macaron when you do too intricate of shapes. It's just not as thick as usually it's crunchier, right? It's not as thick as a nice circle. I think I did this one already, but. All right. This one's for sure gonna get some cracking because I didn't. All right, let's try it out. They don't look badly. I just don't know if it was worth switching the tip out. So here are our little leprechaun hats. These ones are the backs that don't have anything on it. These two are gonna get the little buckle after the fact, just in case we get cracking again. And then we have our shamrocks on all of them. Now, if I switch it over, this is my toaster oven. We're gonna put it directly in. She's preheated to 300. And I'm gonna drop it down to 275 to go in and wish them luck. Good luck. Now I only bake around 13 minutes usually for a circle, which is a little bit fatter. So I'm gonna check these in about 12 minutes. Okay, so that's the first little design. I only did a few, so we have time for everything. Let me go get my other silk hat. Let's do some more green first. Okay, so here we have a shamrock. Oops, let me flip you guys over so I can see if it's on the right. Okay. Here we have the shamrock, and then I have the inverse of the shamrock. Because if you see, if it's not a symmetrical design, it goes this way a little bit. These are a little bit different. It's not symmetrical. You need the inverse. So I sent this and this. See how they go opposite ways? So make sure it's not just 2 pages of the same template. There is an inverse on that, and you want to pipe the same amount from one design and then the other so they can match up nicely. Okay? So I'll do a few of these and then we can go on. I switched to Oster oven because of the convection feature. Oh, Veronica. Yeah, at 90 though? Oh, do you have, you know what, maybe I should. Okay, I'm gonna pipe some more and then I'm gonna see. Okay. Baking along. Okay, I'm gonna catch up in a second. I need to switch this tip back to the bigger one. Forgot about that. You don't want too small of a tip because you're pressing your batter through more, which is going to deflate it more, right? It's pushing it through and it's working it more than you want it to, unless you under mixed it. Okay, so here, whoops, trying to see, have you guys see better. Okay, once, I'm just gonna do the hearts parts, following the template, and then I will do the stem afterwards. But just sort of meld these together in the center here. Then we'll add the stem in a second. I'm just bringing it all into the center, and then you make sure that the center is kind of full. Because if you bring some of it out, then you could have a thin center. So I'll just bring all of it in, and that makes it easier, and about the same thickness everywhere. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these ones. Just take that scribe, make sure it's filling out your template so it matches the other shell. It's the biggest thing. All right. So they look kind of funny without the stem right now, but I'll switch that to a smaller tip in a second to do that detail. And then I'm just gonna move this one over a bit so I can do these. 1, 2, 3. I'll do it like this. I don't wanna move this template yet, the other one, because I am going to need to put the other detail of the stem there. So I'm gonna pipe here. Again, this is now the opposite. Okay. One, two, three, and one more of these. Then we're gonna switch to a smaller tip for our stems. Okay, dun-ta-da. Sorry guys, this is the boring part of a live, is the real-time piping and making sure it looks nice. These are gonna rest before I put them in, and then I'm gonna use my airbag tray for the pot of gold. Okay, so now I have 4 of each, the inverse one, and I'm gonna switch this out for the smaller design. There we go, easy peasy. Now just 8 stems. You don't want them too small because you're gonna have to pull these off the mat. So you just wanna be really cognizant of how thin your smaller details are because they can get stuck. I have one more I need to do, but I need to just kind of make sure these are one. I wanna make sure they don't crack when I bake them. So I'm just gonna take my scribe and make sure it's connected with the other batter. and bring it down to look like a little stem. Okay. And then these will dry. Okay, take this one out and do this last stem. And just fill in the template. And I will get to the comment section. Saw some inappropriate stuff that I deleted. Okay. Take your templates out. And then these are just regular shells. I mean, this is I pipe on an upside down sheet tray for better airflow. So I don't have air issues. Okay. So here we go. These are going to rest, okay? And then we'll do our pot of gold. So I have an air bake tray here, which is going to help bake without resting. So these are my little pots of gold. See these little nubs for I'm only gonna pipe them on one, so I don't have to match those up. Little designs like that, I'll usually just pipe on one side. So I'm gonna have a front and a back, and we'll cover those with some sprinkles. So for the gold, I did these confetti sprinkles and put them in luster dust, or what is it called? Here, sterling pearl from the Sugar Art. So I put them, and they're kind of all shimmery and shiny and fun. Okay, 50 degrees. I gotta catch up on your guys' things after I pipe while they bake. Let me check on let's see if they've cracked over here. Our feet are developing. We got 2 more minutes. These ones didn't crack today, so that's nice. They're almost done too. These are so thin that they bake faster. I think I'm gonna let it go. When you over bake, your color starts to fade, and you don't get as vibrant of a color. Yes, Mandy, it will be available later. So I don't like to over bake my shells, but I also don't want to under bake them where they don't come off your mat, you know? So what I do is I'll push on the sides, and if they have a lot of give, I'll bake them a little bit longer. But these ones are pretty good. Probably let it go like 30 more seconds. I'm excited they turned out, but I'll show you how to put the royal icing decor on after too, just in case you're getting a lot of cracking with yours. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So here they are. I love the baking on of the decor because they are on. You don't have to worry about them slipping off. They are solidly on there, and they add a nice light crunch, almost like a meringue crunch, and not a super hard crunch. These confetti sprinkles that I'll be using, these are almost a little too hard for me, so I'm still trying to figure out if they're worth it to be putting on there. Okay, I can't see right now because I have this flipped, but I'm gonna start piping. Okay, so we have our bigger circle right now. This is the Wilton 12, and then I'm gonna go as small as a Wilton 7 for the smaller design. I went a little small. This scribe is for the other color. Okay. They look like little honey pots right now. All right, 1, 2, 3. So again, I think I was saying if I was doing this for like a farmer's market or anything where I had to do large production, I would do one fun special design. I would not do my whole set like this because it's just too much. And then for me, who doesn't want to take that long to do a lot of designs, it doesn't end up looking super nice because I'm not about to spend hours making something where I could just pipe circles and then put a nice little shamrock on the circle, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these ones. I'm just going to spread them out on the template to fill out that template. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our sprinkles on while it's still wet. So these will be covered with sprinkles up here. I'm not going to even that part out as much. Just don't want a ton of lumps on our pot of gold. Hopefully you guys can see. There we go. Okay, so once you have it I still need to put the little legs on there, but I'm going to do that after. Just take your sprinkles. These are supposed to be like the little coins, but I'm going to put them on the top. I'll kind of clean it up after. And then afterwards, after they bake too, we can put a little royal icing maybe if we need to distinguish where the top of the pot is, like a little line here. I had some really pretty pastel confetti sprinkles, but those ones were too old, and so they did not taste good. Have you ever had old sprinkles? They don't taste good. So just put on your rainbow gold sprinkles. Fix them up so they're pretty. And then let's put those little, we'll do the inverse of these. This one needs some yellow. Some more actual gold looking ones. Okay, there. And it's okay if some of them like fall down a little bit. Your pot can be overfilling with your gold. I love it. You could do even like covered with cereal. like Lucky Charms. You know, there's so many fun things you could do. Let me do the inverse and then we'll do the little, I'll switch the tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I keep having to count. I don't trust me. And these will be the back, so they don't need the sprinkles on top. 1, 2. This gets us ready for eggs too. Now I feel eggs are easier than the pot of gold because I can't keep my, I prefer something, a design where I can kind of like manipulate it from the center and like an egg. I don't like going around in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five and 6. This one was weird. I went too far over. Okay, I'm gonna switch this little tip and just do those tiny little things that make it look a little bit more like a pot. This could be a sack of gold if you don't want to do the edges. Just gonna dot them. Okay, now they look like a pot instead of a sack. Okay, then we're gonna bake these, no rest either, because of the wonders of a air bake tray. Let me just even these guys out. This one's a dud. I'm gonna pipe one more. Okay, and then I'll get to your guys' questions because things will be baking. Oh, you know what you could also do? If this is still wet, it's pre-dried. Okay. I'm gonna pipe one more of these. And then I was thinking if you wanted a little more decor, it's not gonna stick now that they're dry, but like a little clover on the pot of gold. Oh, I don't have a tip. Okay, and last one. Okay. Let's bake these and let's talk. I'm also gonna pipe just the rest of my shells in circles, regular circles, shells. And then we can just put a royal icing shamrock on them or some marshmallows and they'll be super cute. All right, these are going in. I baked, turn it down, 275, and we're gonna go 8 and 8 right now. I also gave little templates littler shamrock templates if you wanted to do smaller ones. I like this size too. But for the sake of time, let's pipe some cute, just regular shells. Air pockets. Could be little gold coins. Let me get my scraper. I'm piping these smaller than usual, just so I get a little bit more yield. Okay, I've got like one little guy. Come on, baby, give me a whole shell. Ah. All right, there's one, and then our green. Well, I got the smaller tip on, so it's a little bit. Okay. Now let's take a look and we can fill the shamrocks. Push out as much as I can here. All right. See, that's my favorite. Nice circles. Then you can put a couple shamrocks on. Let's do. Some of them look like leaves. When you're piping hundreds of one thing, this one has, I thought I broke it. I like it to look a little more organic, so you don't have to spend too much time piping all of these shamrocks. Do some on the green. You have to be careful. I like to store my royal icing transfers on a sheet tray so that they don't break. They are very fragile. This one's pretty. Okay, so we have a few, then let's do a couple. Usually they don't crack if I have it on my airbag tray, but I am resting these because my oven is going to be taken. I feel like these aren't very pretty. Let's just do it. We'll do a couple of these. So we've got 1, 2, 3. There we go. Just a marshmallow. Like here's a rainbow. Maybe that'll look pretty. Okay, there we go. We'll let these rest, and then we have to bake off our shamrocks, and I might do that off camera because I do have some we can fill together. But these are all just gonna rest until my oven is open. Now I'm gonna be able to get to your guys' questions. Let me flip you guys around so I can see better. And clear my space a little bit. I'm gonna be adhering some of those. These are dirty. Okay, so let's see here. I have missed here a lot. Okay, Mandy, I said yes, it will be available. But I got okay, let me catch up. We don't need our colors anymore. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna catch up on your guys' stuff, and then we can also adhere the black decor afterwards, and I'll show you guys that. Hi Razna, how are you? Okay. Yes, Justice, I'd love to share these cookies. I wish I could give them up. It's almost 50 there, Amy. Yes, we have over 100 inches of snow. Is it inches or feet? It might be. Now I gotta check. But we've had a ton of snow. We've also had some random people. I haven't tried an Indian. I mean, I've tried it like tikka masala, but that's not really Indian, right? They call that more British. Butter chicken. I've had the very, I've made naan. Okay. Joni, I'm glad what I said was good. Lisa got a new KitchenAid. That's awesome. I need to service mine because mine is struggling lately. That's my halfway point. So it went on for 8 minutes. I'm gonna do another 7 and flip my tray. Not exactly, oh, here they are. It's like I don't know where my things went. My oven's right at 300 inside, but I had to drop my oven temp down to 275 for that to do that. So my goal is to always have about 300 Fahrenheit in my oven, and everyone has to kind of troubleshoot their own ovens, but in order for me to do that, I have to drop it down that 15 degrees. Nope, 25 degrees? 25 degrees. Let me do my math. Yeah. Okay, still getting caught up. So Mandy, if you're still here, and I think you had to maybe go. I did not let some of these shells dry. I put the ones that went into my convection oven, I put those in right away. I put I got little feet. I put my air bake tray right away, but my shells that are on normal aluminum pans are resting. Celsius, so I like it about 150 Celsius for baking. Okay. Here's the cute part. So this is the one of the backs, and this is the front. Aren't they adorable? Little hats. I mean, they're just super cute. You can get a brush and brush on some luster dust of your clover or your shamrock if you want. And then for here, Remember, I was like, oh, sometimes it cracked, like twice it cracked on me, so I didn't want to put all my chickens, all my eggs in one basket. There we go. So if you have royal icing, just use meringue powder. Not what I use for inside my, oh, what do you call it? Not egg white powder, right? Meringue powder. And then I'm just going to put a couple dots of my royal icing. And then you can get your little belts or transfers. And we're going to pop it on. And just let it dry. Now this is a little more fragile, right? Now it's gonna be a little more fragile because it could pop off. The other one sort of makes it meld into it, and I love baking them in. And then this, obviously, you could also pipe the whole thing on your, like the black and then the buckle. But I get performance anxiety, and my royal icing skills are not amazing. So I like to be able to pick and choose what I'm putting on my shell. That's why I love having the transfers, because I'm like, oh, this one looks bad. I'm not gonna put that one on. This one I will, you know. You have the freedom to choose, which is nice. And this shell is a little bit longer. I piped it a little bit. Weird. Okay. There we go. Now we have them on all of them. Okay, so those are some options for this design. And now I'm gonna get back to those questions that I haven't answered. But they're pretty cute, right? I always tear mine off, like peel them off. I'm not gonna just ever try to pop them off. I'm always scared the middle's gonna come off. Even if they're baked, sometimes especially these blueprint ones, blue drop ones, sorry, they just like to stick. So I peel mine off and pair them up with their sweet little mates. Right? They're so cute. Okay. And then we'll fill. I made a marshmallow buttercream. There's all of our little guys. Made a marshmallow buttercream. I have salted caramel, which will be the pot of gold. And then I have a cereal milk ganache. So those are let me see. Veronica, okay, back to you because I didn't really address this. With your Oster oven, Oster, I think it's pronounced Oster. But the temp has to be really low, 90. Are you in Celsius? Is that 90 Celsius? I just want to know that. And then, interesting people. Okay, I missed a lot, guys. I'm sorry. Someone asked where the link for the recipe was. I had sent it. To those who signed up for the VIP, I sent it to them. But you can check out my macaron 101 video. That has the recipe. Yes, Lisa peels off too. This is not good for my brain because I'm just like too many things at once. Yes, you can find my recipe on many of my videos, but my macaron 101 will have it written in the description of the video. So it's written out right there if you want it. All right. I missed it. I just made 2 versions of, oh, Amy, that sounds delicious. You do so much in the kitchen. I feel like you're always doing something new. Just finished clover leaf macarons. Aw. Razna, you just have to like do the opposites now. Now you have lots of shells for one way. Or just make them work. Once you fill them, sometimes you can't even tell. Choo-choo. I'm gonna do 1 more minute for those. I'm so confused by some of these comments. I think they got bored and left, but super weird. Okay. Just finished making clover. Put some cheese on it. Happy birthday, Roscoe. Gonna make them for my daughter because she was, that was Doreen, right? Your daughter was born on St. Patty's Day. That's awesome. Hi, Steffi. Nice to see you. Lisa, I do hope you feel better. Okay, and then I didn't risk it with the shapes. I'm still learning. Daniela, I get it. I prefer eating shapes anyways. And like, again, what I was saying before, I would usually do mostly circles and maybe one fun design. But this is simply for the live to show like all the different things that you could do. And then you could like pick one of the easier ones. Yeah, but I like circles. Circles are good. I'm team circle for sure. Okay. Trolls. I know, Lisa, I'm like overwhelmed by the amount of trolls today. Let's take these out and get this oven open for our next tray. Here are our cute pots of gold. Oop, one fell off. The shamrock is staying on. So it's kind of a cute little, I don't know if I like the green with the colors of the gold. The pastels were way cuter, but they were gross tasting. So hopefully these aren't so hard where they make your teeth hurt. Okay. I'll wait for those to cool. These are our shamrocks. They're super dry. Hopefully they are okay. I don't usually dry my macarons this long. You know, with all these little designs, I did each one on different sheet trays. So I have more sheet trays than usual. And it's really dry here. So I'm hoping I do not have an issue with over drying. But here's our little chamois. And I'm going to check my oven temperature. Usually I give my oven about 2 minutes in between each tray, but we're in a time crunch. Still at 300, so I'm hoping it stays that way. I'm going to check it in like 2 minutes. If it's shot up, I might drop my oven temp from 275 to like 265 just to kind of get it back to 300. Okay. So we did royal icing, we talked about that, how to adhere them, and now I'm just gonna fill the ones that are ready. So here's our salted caramel. That's for the pots of gold. Thanks, Daniela. Hi, Thomas. Lisa, thanks for blocking some people. I appreciate that. I'm not good at dealing with that kind of stuff. This is the marshmallow buttercream. Amazing recipe by Stella Parks. I have her cookbook, Brave Tart. I recommend it highly. She is so scientific in nature, really fun read. So this is Stella Parks Brave Tart marshmallow buttercream. I linked, there is like, I think a Savor magazine maybe put it out online, on the web, interweb. And so you can, for the VIPs, I did link a recipe to that, but I do highly recommend her book if you want to purchase it. So that's this marshmallow. I dyed it a little green just because everything's dyed for St. Patrick's Day, like overly. Makes me a little nauseous, but it's for St. Patrick's Day. This is a cereal milk ganache. If you guys know Christina Tosi or Tosi, I never know how to pronounce her last name, from Milk Bar. Also another amazing pastry chef. Her recipes are fantastic. She's known for all these really cool layer cakes that are usually naked, so you can kind of see all the different layers. And she usually has a crumble. Like, she just puts in so many different textures and flavors into one thing, and she's really a cool one to watch too if you're new in the baking world. Christina Tosi. Tosi. Okay, thanks, Amy. That's what I needed. So I was trying to make a ganache with her cereal milk recipe. I toasted cornflakes, seeped my cream for my ganache in with my toasted cornflakes, and the starch just really, it's hard because she uses milk, and the starch and the fat just make it really hard to yield much cream to come out after you infuse the flavors. So I'm still working on it, but this is a cereal milk and white chocolate ganache. That was the long story short. I mean, long story. Just a long story. Okay, those are what we're filling with. For our hats, let's do cereal milk. And then for our pots of gold, we'll do our delicious salted caramel. And then for the shamrocks, I will do the green marshmallow. And then with that, I have just some blended up Lucky Charms cereal. So it's not just the marshmallows, it's the cereal too. Just, it takes this classic flavor and it makes you taste like you're eating Lucky Charms. So we'll put that with our marshmallow ones. And then I have cornflakes to add to our cereal milk just to bring out more of that flavor. Okay. So basically, it's all about the flavors, right? You can do cute designs if you want, but it's all about the flavors. So don't worry if you don't want to go crazy with design. It's just fun to make something other than just American buttercream. So if you have to, or if you prefer American buttercream, infusing your flavors with some things, or one of my favorite flavors, because I had to use American buttercream for my cottage food, was a lemon rosemary. So infuse your lemon juice with rosemary. It just adds so much fun to an otherwise overly sweet product. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Doreen, yes, Bubba, no, make your man a sandwich. Well, keep blocking them for me, Lisa. Yeah. Those are growing some feet. They're not cracking, so I'm happy, but I didn't check the, still at 300. Okay. Funny, you are baking St. Patty's goods. I am from a small town in Ireland. Thomas, are you really? Are you? I love it. I hope you're not joking with me or pulling my leg. I'm sorry if it's, so here's the cereal milk. White chocolate ganache. Just gonna kind of bring that over. Gonna put it on there. I don't know who to trust anymore with all these trolls. And then you got your white chocolate ganache in there. Marry them up. And we're gonna let these mature for 24 hours before we eat them. I've got a fuzz on that. I like the texture, at least, of the cereal milk. Okay. I know this is a super long live, but I don't usually fill on them, and I wanted to do the whole thing today. So just sandwich them all together. you know, complete. They're so cute. I hope leprechaun, I mean, like, it's just for fun. I just feel like, is it offensive? No, not joking. I moved to the United States when I was 17. Oh, cool. Is our over hallmarked St. Patty's Day offensive, Thomas? That will be good for me to know if I need to not do it. Okay. Esma, hello. Thanks. Why I love doing fun. That's why I love doing fun flavors. My favorite flavor. Oh, that's a hard question. Okay, so those are all our cereal milk. Oh, you guys, I forgot. I'm gonna undo it. No, I forgot the cereal. Silly me. If you do something like the cereal, it's gonna be hard to adhere to the next side. So, not at all. Thomas approved. I like that. Okay, so just put a little bit more on this side so it adheres. Okay. There. Not too much of an issue. It's just, okay. One sec. I haven't done cereal milk before, the flavor, and I hope that, I put on the wrong, I'm trying to do too. I hope that it doesn't get too soggy. No one wants a soggy crunch. I mean, there's not gonna be a crunch, a soggy cornflake. Oh, I pushed down and it was only halfway through baking. Oh. You guys, I'm flustered. This is okay. Making macarons, JD. Gorilla. Making them. Okay. Another, because these are a little bit larger, another 8 minutes on the clock. And then we're gonna go on because I need to get ready to go to a parent-teacher conference. Okay, take off these ones because I forgot the cereal. Sprinkle with some cornflakes. I'll definitely keep you guys posted if it tastes like adds extra flavor or if it just tastes like soggy cereal after. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of white chocolate, so whenever I have a chocolate ganache, a white chocolate ganache, I want it to not taste like white chocolate. So the flavor has to be pretty good, and I would love a little bit more cereal milk flavor, so cornflakes it is. We'll see if these work. So now those are layered with the extra crunch. Here's my pot of gold from the other day. See the pastels? See, they're pretty. I wish that they hadn't been expired because they did not taste good. And I'm not gonna do it if they don't taste good, but I just want, the other ones are still cooling. So I'm gonna fill this one with some salted caramel. This is at room temperature, great filling. It's on my top 5 fillings for macarons video if you're looking for the recipe, or I just put out, I have it written out in my last video that I put out as well, which was the was it the Valentine's Day vlog kind of thing? Some extra salt, because salt is delicious. Sandwich them together, then you got these little, let me see if I can peel some of these macarons off of my other mat, but I think they're still pretty warm. You don't want to rush the peeling off. Okay, I was able to pull off 2, so here they are. We've got a little pot. See how it's like not defined well up here? So if we want to put a little bit of royal icing across the edge. Kind of cut those off. I don't know. Do you like it better with or without? Maybe I should have done it higher too. Does it look weirder? I need your help on the design. To put royal icing or not to put royal icing? That is the question. Poor kitty cat. I'm sorry for your kitty cat. So, pot of gold. And our marshmallow buttercream. Oops, I was doing, shamrocks are still in. This is for our shamrocks. The cat with the diabetes is just getting me. Guys, you can tell I'm flustered, huh? Okay, we'll have to wait for the, oh, guys, I have shamrocks already made. What am I thinking? Here's the salted caramel. This is not usually how I do production. I am losing it. Okay. Sandwich those together. And then you've got your cute little pot of gold. Yay! Okay. So we've got pots of gold, those, and then let's see. From yesterday, our, ooh, I was really close. Our four-leaf clovers, or sorry, these are not four-leaf clovers, shamrocks. Let's do our marshmallow buttercream, and we're gonna be done. And I'll take any more. I'm making a mess. And I'll ooh. There we go. This stuff is delicious. Okay. You don't want to pipe all the way to the line because you're going to smush it down a bit and you don't want it to smear out, right? So then where's our Lucky Charms? Lucky Charms dust. Give it a good dusting. And then we might need a little bit more. I got too much in. Like that. Okay. It's too much. It's too soft right now, so I'm gonna have to put those down. The buttercream, I microwaved it beforehand because it's cold here. And it was, I microwaved it too much. Still pretty soft. But there. With our marshmallow filling. I just can't have it. And then if you guys, you know, want to put any type of extra luster dust, if you have a food safe, these are from the Sugar Art too. I do have a code. It used to be 15% off, but now it's only 10%, just so you know. A lot of my older videos have 15% off, but if you use Bake Toujours now at the Sugar Art, you only get, you could do this, and then it will have a little more shine. It's hard to see on the camera, but you'll get 10% off. Okay, now that I've made a complete mess, so usually if you're doing production, you know, you set out all your shells and you'll fill one flavor and then clean your space and move on to the next. But for this live, I wanted to showcase at least one of each. So yeah, let me check out. It is great. You are mother-like. Thank you. Is it Zeza? I'm a sucker for sweets. The more sugar, the better. I do love some sugar as well. I think the color green is my favorite. Oh, yay! My father is Irish, but my mother's Mexican. That's a cool mixture. We did our family DNA. Wow, Amy, your dad is close to 100%. We joke. I'm very much an English mutt. I don't know much about, and then I am Italian. My grandpa was full Italian. Okay. Just push down on the top very gently and see if the feet go down, and if they don't, they're pretty solid. That means they're done baking. So there's our 4-leaf clovers. There's the inverse of them, right? Because they're not symmetrical, so you have to make sure you pipe the other way so that they will pair up well. Okay, and then these are our last ones that will go in. Okay, and that's that. I don't want to touch anything else because I need to wash my hands. For Lucky Charms, I used artificial vanilla and a touch of strawberry extract. Ooh, Lisa, did it taste a lot like it? My family's currently hooked on white caramelized chocolate ganache. Doreen, yes. In one of the restaurants I worked at, we did a white chocolate ganache, or a white chocolate caramelization, and then made a crumble for one of our sundaes. We did like artisan sundaes, and it was so good. It definitely took away the flavor that I don't like for white chocolate, which is just sweetness. You know, it doesn't add anything else but sweet. So it gave that more like depth of flavor when you caramelize it. That's really great. I should do that. I should caramelize that. Caramelize it instead of pickle it. Okay. I love it. Okay. My family's currently, I don't use a lot of extracts except for vanilla. I'll have to try to see. I bet that does mimic the flavor of the Lucky Charms really well. Are you Gordon Ramsay's wife? Oh, no. Okay. Hello from San Antonio. Hi, Marcy. How's it going? Good to see your name. Let's see. Elementos in I don't know what that says. Something about, I can't translate that. I'm sorry, Anthony. Okay. I think I caught up. Does anyone have questions? Amy, I enjoyed the sugar art as well. My family. Yes, Doreen. Why didn't I think of that? I'm so glad you've opened my eyes to the caramelization of white chocolate again. Thank you. That is just special. I might need to. I know. Now I really want to try and want to get a little bit of extract and see how it goes. So Lisa was saying, if you're watching this back and you don't see the live chat, I'm not sure how watching it back goes, but someone said, Lisa said, artificial vanilla and some strawberry extract kind of mimic the flavor of Lucky Charms, which is really fun to try. So I really want to try it. Marilyn, hello. I'm just finishing. Thomas, I don't own a bake shop. I've been on the go. We moved around a lot, and so I would love to open up more of a shop to teach, and not like a full-fledged bakery. That's just a whole baby in itself, and it's a lot of work. I love hard work, but not when you have like another parent, or my spouse is a lot of hard work. So just I get these, like working in restaurants and stuff, like you always would be like, crap, someone's out. We got to pull their weight. You got to do all their prep for them, mise en place. And I never wanted to be that person that couldn't come in. And if, with kids, I feel like I would have to miss a lot of stuff. So either way, enough said. I'd rather have a flexible schedule. So I'd love a space to teach and then maybe sell product when I have product, like if I want to do production every Wednesday morning or something, instead of having to pay the rent of a huge or a space of a bakery. Really, Amy? You've caramelized it in the oven? I mean, in the microwave? Can you buy already caramelized? Doreen, you can buy gold chocolate, which is caramelized white chocolate, and that is, I've had Calabo's gold chocolate. It's fabulous. It's really good. Oh, sorry, you said you can. I didn't. Yay. I read it as a question. You knew that you could buy gold chocolate. Okay. Here we go. Do you make your own gianduja? I love making my own hazelnut chocolate. Yeah, I do. Up here, it takes so long to get products, so making your own works really well. Gianduja is delicious. Do you ever add flavor to your basic shell? Joni, that's a great question. Not usually. Unless, in the beginning, I tried a lot of like, put some cereal crumbles in, put some cornflake crumbs in, anything that you could process, like strawberry, dried fruit, anything that you could make into a powder, I'd put into a macaron. And every time I was a little disappointed. The texture would be a little off. When you can get so much flavor just from your filling, it wasn't really worth it after, especially when you're doing, like I was doing farmers markets, wasn't worth continuing to try for just that little extra like work, basically wouldn't even yield that much more flavor, in my opinion. So I don't even put vanilla extract, as you saw today in my shell recipe. I don't even put salt. I used to put salt in it, but I just add everything into the filling, and then that matures so nicely and flavors those shells, so I don't find it that worth it, except for chocolate. Chocolate, I do cocoa powder when I do chocolate macarons. Hello, watching from Mexico. Thank you for watching. Okay. All right, guys, I think we're done. Anyone have more questions? This is a fun chat. Do I just add some grams of cocoa powder? So Joni, if you prefer French method, I do have a chocolate macaron video. It was one of the beginning videos that I have put out, so it was a while ago. If you just look up chocolate macarons in my page, but back then I used bigger amounts because I had a restaurant depot and I was producing for my farmer's market. But now I just use Hershey's powder, cocoa powder. I like the Hershey's extra or special dark, and it works great. And you just add the recipe. For the recipe I sent you, take out some dries and then replace it with cocoa powder, but I'll send you the information. Yes, Doreen, I'm so happy you were here, and thanks for getting that VIP ticket. If you have more questions, please email me. That's kind of what the VIP tickets are about, is just getting a little bit more out of this live if you're struggling, especially to help you guys. So, because I know some of my classes are about $85, and that's like a higher price range. That's why I love YouTube, because it's free for you guys to watch. But then if you want to get a little extra out of it, just getting that VIP is kind of fun. And then I get to interact with you personally via email a bit. So don't be shy. You can email me. All right. Thanks so much, Randy. Ooh, you're doing a live? I'll have to check out your channel. Let me move you guys over here so you can just see these as I flip them, and then we'll say goodbye because I actually have to go. My kids get out in a half an hour, so. Here are our ones with the tops, but they're only halfway baked. So we'll let those bake a little bit longer, and we'll be in touch. How can you achieve a white macaron? Seven more minutes. White is hard. I usually bake them a little bit less, a tiny bit less. And, oops. And really that's it. Some people have different methods, like they'll put parchment over the top at the very end towards like the last 1 minute or so to help it from not getting color. Others will put a tiny bit of violet in it to offset the yellowness of the almond flour. I use Master Elite's white from the Sugar Art, which is basically just titanium dioxide, which you can buy and put a tiny bit in. Yeah, there's lots of different ways. I don't know if I have a video on it. To be honest, I've just talked about it maybe in a lot of lives. Facebook group. Oh, okay, Facebook group. Randy Ray's Macarons. I'll look it up. I just go with a little bit of cream colored if it's not spick span white. That's what I stay away from black as much as possible because I despise having to try black. Thus, the pots of gold are gold. And I stay away from reds as much as possible. I just don't like using a ton of colorant. And then with white, I just feel like a tiny little bit underbaked works. And then I shove my silicone mat in my freezer, helps them release well off of the mat, and then they're good to go. All right, guys. They turned out well, girl, dad, cooking. Thanks. Yep, we got some prototypes here, but things are still drying, so I can't film much else. But, okay, guys. Thanks so much for joining today. If you haven't, you guys make sure to like, subscribe, do whatever to get my videos out there because it helps. I had that. Of course, my most recent orders were red. Yes, Amy, I know. And it's just me personally. I don't like adding a ton of coloring. Like, I just don't. So, it's amazing. I love seeing the shells. They look so fabulous when you get like a beautiful red or black. Ooh, it is so satisfying. Okay. Oh, Steffi. I hate that, the oily bags of almond flour. It's always so scary opening up a new one. I'll have to read your. Okay, thanks, Marcy. I'm gonna go make eggs. Ooh, enjoy that. That's very nice. Thanks, guys, so much. Thank you, Amy. I just read that you said the classes are worth it. Can macaron batter dry out enough to keep getting thicker as you macaronage? Steffi, that's a really good question, so I'm going to answer that really quickly. It's usually not going to be drying out that's making it thicker as you macaronage. It's your flour is too absorbent, and it's sucking up all of the moisture from your batter, and you're going to need to get new almond flour if that happens a lot. Okay, I'm sorry if I missed some of your questions. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your afternoons or days and weeks, and I will talk to you guys later. Let's see.